Shalom. First and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai. Double honors to the elders, the apostles of Great Millstone. And salutations to brothers doing this thing in sincerity and truth. The elect, basically, man. And with charity, you know. And I'm going to touch on this flat earth thing real quick. Because it's been a huge spirit. You know, it's been Israel for the longest. You probably heard me mention it before, not following it, because I was, of course, not stupid ass doctrine. I really was avoiding the topic. I will say certain things just to quick cuts to it, because it's the dumbest thing. Like, what the fuck? What year is this, man? This is the Renaissance all over again? You know? Of course, the flat earth shit is just simple. Like, it's dumb. If you do any amount of research in it, there's so many ways to cut it. It's like, what the to get caught by, you know, it's the Lord's will, so it is what it is. It's a stupid topic, you know. Whether the earth, even if the earth was flat, which is not, you know, what's the point? What's the point of teaching that? How's that a doctrine? That's edification in that. But the fact that y'all wanted to teach it and it was incorrect, now for one, we got to make sure we explain that it's not correct and show the truth that it's round. But also, you guys put that condemnation on yourselves, man, for spitting that profane knowledge, you know, because that caused many to stumble. So this is 1 Timothy 6:20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings, and oppositions of science falsely so called, which some professing have erred concerning the faith. Grace be with thee. Amen. So it says some have erred doing these things, going to so-called science falsely called. That's why because it's not real science. Then it says avoid profane and vain babblings, which ultimately that's what that is, man. That flat earth shit is a vain babbling, man. Empty discussion, useless matter. Okay, it's pointless, it's fruitless. Okay, just bugged out. And you really talk to them, so these flat earthers, more specifically the ones that so-called Israelites that believe in the Bible. You speak with them, they're trying to cut them. They say the first thing they go to is scripture that talk about the four corners of the earth. Okay, so we're going to touch on that. I ain't going to get the scripture on it. You brothers know what it is, what it says. Four corners come up a lot. But once they say that, you get them say a scripture like the Isaiah 40 and 22. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as a grasshopper that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. Okay? So clearly it's a circle. But they say, well, that doesn't mean spirits is a circle. Okay, fine. Let's get another one. This is Proverbs 8 and I'm gonna hold that, because they say it's a circle. They say fine is a circle, but then that means your point about the corner on the earth disappears now, because it can't. Because they think that you can't have corners for corners if it's a ball. If it's this circle, it's this round shape. Basically, there can't be corners because of this round shape. Okay, that's their thing. So if your whole starting point was about the four corners, but then you change it and say, well, it is a circle, then your whole starting point about the earth being flat is now null and void. So now what are you still grasping onto about the flat earth? Okay? This is Proverbs 8 and 26. Why as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. Which, that word world is a difference between earth and world, because earth just means ground. That's why when it says world, it's talking about the entire planet, because the earth is mainly water. It's really a ball of water and dirt, and then with dirt on it. Okay? So, that's why it's called the world. It's called the planet world, not the planet earth. It's the planet world. It's the world. That's the name of this place. Eden, world, the world. It's important to know that for another point when I look at some words. So it says, when he prepared the heavens, I was there when he set a compass upon the face of the depth. Okay? What this goes to, which that word compass means it's the circle to go around, to draw around. Now, that's the whole four corners thing. North, south, east, and west. Which, if you look at a compass, those are the four main points. What they call the cardinal points north, south, east, and west. But the whole compass is a circle, because you'll have north, north, northeast, northeast, east, northeast, and then east, and then etc. for the rest. You know. So that's the compass. It's a full circle, but the cardinal points north, south, east, and west, man. That's into fours. Which the Lord divided into fours, because He said He could pass the deep. That's the equation the Lord put on this world, man. Okay, ain't no getting around that. All right, and for that matter, yeah, that's the equation the Lord put. For that matter, then they go into, well, what about the curvature of the earth? It needs to be this many. You see a building is this tall. Why don't you see Why don't you see the curve? You should be able to see the curve of Earth this many miles down the road. You should be able to see the Sears Tower this far back because it's this many miles. That's where the curve of the Earth should be at. Well, one, you fucking simple ass niggas probably barely passed fucking basic geometry in junior high, man. All right, probably flunked in fucking 7th grade science, and you trying to talk about this complex algorithm to get to the curvature of the Earth. For one. Two, do you know what would be needed to even know the curvature of the Earth? They would have to know how big the Earth is, which they cannot do. This is Proverbs 8 and 27, Slaki. Proverbs 25 and 3. The heaven for height, I'm going to start at 2. Proverbs 25 and 2. It is the glory of the Most High to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. The heaven for height and the earth for depth and the heart of the kings is unsearchable. And this is the key. The earth for depth is unsearchable, okay? So how deep the earth is, you cannot figure it out. Which means you cannot get the surface area of the earth. You cannot figure out how big the earth is. Because you know what you need to get the surface area? Okay, I think the equation is area equals 4 pi r squared. Okay? Which is another thing about the compass. If you look at the four part, the 4 times pi r squared, because that's 4 times basically the equation to get the surface area of a circle, the circumference of a circle, basically. So it's 4 times. So basically, each quarter, the 4 corners, each quarter to make up a full sphere from takes 4 circles basically. A circle, 4 circles with the same radius will equal the size of that sphere. All right, with the same radius. That's how you get the surface area. Which Esau can't figure out because the Lord just said they can't get the depth of the earth. Which we know this. They do not know how big the earth is. It's fucking impossible if you don't know that. They don't fucking know it, so they can't tell you the area of the world, so they can't tell you how many miles it takes to figure out the curvature. Now, you can easily go look and see the curvature of the earth. It's plain and simple. Let me get this precept. It's very easy to go see what, again, you niggas are simple. Yeah, Job 26 and 10. Motherfuckers. It gotta be this many miles. Look how far this is. Why is no curve? Every 70 miles or some dumb shit. They got different numbers. Cause really they got 2 different equations, long ass equations that they try to use. The one equation is to show that the other one is wrong. This is what it really should be. But it really doesn't matter because they can't do it because they don't have the fucking numbers to put in there. Alright, you got Esau's a fucking liar. It's that simple, man. Let me find this verse. Slacking. Thought I had the right verse. Yeah. Salakia. Oh, okay. That's what I had. 26 and 10, not 20 and 10. Salakia about that. This is Job 26 and 10. I'll just read it from right here. Fuck this. He hath compassed the waters with bounds until the day and night come to an end. All right, and which is really going into the is going to the horizon, and also even to the hemisphere, basically. Because say you was at sea the day and night. Say you was at sea, because it says until. I'm gonna break down the second half first. Until day and night come to an end. Say you at sea. Say you at what is it? Like the prime meridian or whatever. Say you like what's they so called the middle of the earth or whatever. 0 latitude, 0 longitude, whatever. You're right there, and you'll see the sun setting on one side, and you'll see the rising on the other side. Basically, you'll have darkness and light on two separate sides because you're right there. That's because the earth is round. Otherwise, for one, hell, you wouldn't see even the sun coming up. You will see the sun moving to the side if the earth is flat. If considering that we have different time zones, we know one part of the world is dark and the other part is light. So the sun will move in a horizontal manner instead of look like it's coming up and then going down. That's because it's flat, and that's also what he mentioned. He had compassed the waters with bounds to the day and night come to an end, which goes into basically the word compass means the word compass is kawab, which means to draw around. And say you at sea and you look and you look and you look and you look at the sea and you just the horizon and like the heavens meet the earth. That's the curvature because you looking straight, but since the earth curves and the heavens is that it's like now all you seeing is the heavens. So like it meets each other because the earth is curving and going down. That's the curvature of the earth right there. You can't measure that. You can't figure out how long it's supposed to be to get that. Because one is based off height, where you standing at, and then the lands, depending on where you at, is higher or lower. Depending on where you at in the sea, that's higher or lower. So you can't measure it. That's based off perception of where you at. And they can't tell you a certain set no because they don't know how big the earth is, man. Okay? And Job just proved right there that the curvature exists, the earth exists, and also that the earth is round, man. Because it's compassed the water. It's a circle drawn. That compass again, the four corners. Which 4 area equals 4 pi r squared, man. That's that 4. That's that compass. North, south, east, and west. So you'll take and break it into, in fact, they call it quarters, man. The cardinal quarters of a compass, man. That's them 4 corners. The Lord gave you the equation for this stuff, man. This is his wisdom, his math, man. His truth, his science. Alright, and if you say it's round, it's fucking round. But let's get into the fact that it is a spear. I'm gonna get this second Ezra 16. I'm gonna start at verse 57. I'm gonna start 55. I'm gonna start 54. Slaki. Behold, the Lord know all the works of men, their imaginations, their thoughts, and their hearts. Which spake but the word, let the earth be made, and it was made. Let the heaven be made, and it was created. His word were the stars made, and he knoweth the number of them. He searched the deep, and the treasures thereof. He hath measured the sea, and what it containeth. He hath shut the sea in the midst of the waters, and with his word hath he hanged the earth upon the waters. He spreaded out the heavens like a vault upon the waters, hath he founded it. Okay, so keep in mind that word vault. If I look at the word heaven, in the Hebrew, I'm gonna get it right here, and just etymology online, you know, the etymology of the word heaven, and we go to etymology online. It says Helfon, early of the visible sky firmament, which is essentially what it is, the firmament, separating heavens from the heavens, you know, which lets you know is the heavens, meaning the outer space, and the heavens, meaning the sky and its atmosphere. But we jump ahead, atmosphere. Okay, so it says right here, when you get to the last part of the first paragraph, Watkins derives the elaborate from pi, ox, sharp, via Achman, stone, sharp stone, then stony vaults of heaven. So keep in mind that just said vault, stony vault of heaven. Now the second paragraph is the point I want now though. From late 14th century, as a heavenly place, a state of bliss, plural use in sense of sky. So it's saying the sense of the sky, the heavens, what we know it as. Now this is what it says. Probably is from Ptolemaic theory of space is composed of many spheres. So they say this is from the Ptolemaic age, basically, the Greeks. Now it says that, but then look what it says after. But it also formerly was used in the same sense. So the exact same meaning they just said was come from Greece. It's saying it's in the same sense as the singular in the biblical language as a translation of Hebrew plural shemayim. Right. So it can't be both. It can't be from Greece during the Ptolemies, but they're saying it's in the same sense in the Bible. But that's Esau's confusion. It comes from the Bible, and that's what it means right there. A space as composed of many spheres. Okay, and let's get that. I'm gonna get the Hebrew for heaven. I'm gonna get that real quick, which is Shemayim. They even got the word then that's online. And heaven, Shemayim, heaven, sky, visible heaven, sky, as above the stars, as the visible universe, the sky, atmosphere. Okay, which is the heavens from the heavens. So the atmosphere, which is talking about Earth, the atmosphere of Earth, and then the heavens talking about outer space, which the outer space heavens, the universe basically, it said it is let me see what it say. Space as composed of many spheres. That's what the word heaven means. But we're gonna get to that because it said in this 216 and 59 he spread out the heavens like a vault. So hold on, but first let me get atmosphere. Okay. Atmosphere from atmosphere, modern Latin atmosphera, from atmo, combination form of Greek atmos, which is vapor, steam. That's your atmosphere. There's waters. This is separating the waters from the waters, because Shemayim means pertaining to waters. That was pertaining to water. Separating the waters from the water. So vapor, steam, plus sphere. So let's get what the word sphere means, which we know is, of course, is a globe, ball. Oh, here we go. Latinized spelling of Middle English sphere. But here, check this out. Cosmos, space, conceived as a hollow globe about the world. The word sphere itself, cosmos is a part of it, talking about the heavens. So the word heaven that we just looked up, which gave the definition for the earth, the heaven, the universe being a collection of spheres, the word sphere itself means that. Then it goes even further. It says from Latin spera, globe, ball, celestial sphere. The word itself means that. Hey, but there's more. Vault, because it said a vault, right? He stretched the heavens out like a vault. Okay, the word vault is the verb number 2, to form with a vault or arched roof, curved, From Old French vaulter, from vault, arched, vaulted roof. Then the first noun, arched roof or ceiling. From Old French vaulter, arch, vaulting, vaulted roof or chamber. It's the same thing from Latin valutus, bold, arched, past participle of volvere, to turn around, to roll. Okay? And that's the, even so, for one, the atmosphere is round, but also the whole world is a sphere. And every planet, every celestial body is round shape. Even the heavens spread out in a round shape. According to 2 16, everything is sphere shaped, man. The flat earth is fucking complete madness and folly, man. Okay? Go outside, go to the edge of a lake, and just look over the waters and watch what the heaven meets the fuck, well, like the heaven meets the water. That's your curvature right there, man. That's your horizon. Watch the sun come up. Hey, watch the sun come up, lean backwards, do like a back bend, watch the sun come up, and then stand up, and then turn around, and the sun should come up twice if the earth is flat. If that's the case. You guys don't have any fucking sense. Hey, what about the taiga forest, which covers the entire circle of the northern hemisphere? Okay? The fact that we have a northern, southern, eastern, western hemisphere also proves the four corners, and the fact that this place is compassed, like the Lord said, man, that's the four right there. Okay? The four parts of the sphere, which is the equation. It happens to be the equation to get the surface area of a fucking sphere, which they can't do because they don't have the fucking numbers to place there. Alright? On every fucking level, the flat earth is just nonsense, man. Top on a plane, decide you want to take a non-stop flight to Japan from New York, it'll go north, east, and then it'll come from the south to west part of Japan. But if you're in California, it'll fly west to Japan. Pearl Harbor, how did the Japs hit Hawaii, man? Because the Japs flew east. Man, it's so simple, man. It's just, that doctrine is stupid, it's bugged out, it's fruitless. Avoid that shit, man. I mean, come on, it's a circle. It's that simple, and it's a circle, meaning a spear. It's another thing. Also, they like to say that word doesn't go to spear. It really does, but just to go even further, there's multiple words that goes to spear to show you how the Lord designed the heavens and the earth. So another point, have another word. I was gonna look up world, but because it had a good point about it being without end, really unsearchable. But that doesn't matter, you know. That was good enough to explain how passionate y'all shy. The flat earth is a thing of folly, man. Also, another thing, man. You know, the scriptures say, continue the doctrine what you have learned, knowing who you have learned it from. And that's what it is, man. The elders are the pastors. Now, I mention that because you guys are falling right into the hands of Satan's trap with this flat earth shit. For one, this part is prophesied in the Illuminati card game about the flat earth and fake nasty shit. But the guy who's that really pushed this flat earth shit to the forefront is a paid actor. His name like Matthew Boylan or some shit. That supposedly he had supposed to be a subcontractor with NASA. Turns out he's been pumping lies for the longest, man. He's a fucking puppet. But you guys don't research shit, man. You gotta know who you're learning your shit from, man. And then make sure it's foolproof. So with that, all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders, apostles, GMS. Salutations, brothers, doing this thing sincerity and truth and charity. Shalom.